always talking about how beautiful and cute you are. But the brain, there's so much going on. And so I made this little graphic of the brainwave states. This is pretty bland, but all of these brainwave states correlate to hormones in the body. So this is how our nervous system is regulating itself. This is also, I'm just going to talk about the respiratory rate. So respiratory rate linked to the microbiome. Everybody's talking about the microbiome, talking about the immune function. We're talking about the nervous system. All these things are all interconnected. So the rate at which we breathe, so you can see all of these little ones, right? Alpha brainwave state, beta wave state, theta, delta, gamma. And you can see that each one of them is correlated to a Hertz frequency. And this Hertz frequency is in line with our respiratory rate. So the easiest way to kind of understand these, and this is the coolest thing about you, trust me, okay? We could talk about the delta wave sleep state, okay? When we, like, if you were to put a little cap on and they were to, watch the brainwave states at night, we would go through all these different waves of consciousness, right? Like when we go to sleep, where do you go? Your brainwaves change, and this is correlated to our hormone state. So like the delta wave sleep state, it's so slow, 0.5 to 4 hertz. This is a frequency that your brain is giving off. It's a frequency that's going throughout your entire body. So, that's why melatonin is related to the hormone of darkness. At night, we are signaling to ourselves to shut everything down. We're signaling for repair. We're signaling for immune function. And it's so, so beautiful. So in that state of sleep, our body temperature has dropped down. Our heart rate has dropped down. What else? Our respiratory rate. So that's so beautiful, is that, you can tap into your immune function just by practicing like meditation. That's why I always talk about the book Breath by James Nestor. But you can slow down your breathing rate and literally change your hormone function. This is the coolest thing about you. And, sometimes it's hard when we are stuck in our fight or flight, right? How do you get to that place where you slow down your breath? Well, I just talked to you a little bit about how I get into my meditative state. So what I do is I try to take the longest, deepest breath in, and I keep trying to let it come in. So I'm just like in constant expansion. And it's almost like I'm trying to get to a place of suffocation where I can't breathe anymore. I'm like continuing to let that breath come in, let my lungs expand. And I'm also thinking about my brain. I'm thinking about allowing the oxygen to come up and open up all the blood vessels in my brain. Because a lot of us, we're so stressed, we're so constricted. We are so, if talking about the brainwave states, we're actually caught up in this high beta wave frequency, right? It's 12 to 35 hertz. A lot of us, like, overstimulation of cortisol is related to the high beta wave frequency. This is where most of us stay, live, rest. We live and rest in the wild side of our nervous system, in that sympathetic tone, in that fight or flight is where we live, right? And we want to get back on that lower side, more on that medium lower side. And even to the point of when you get in the meditative state, you can drop down to that 4 and 8 hertz, right? When I would do these little experiments with my Oura Ring, it would pick up that I was in light sleep. How does it pick up that I'm in light sleep? Well, my heart rate would drop and my respiratory rate drops. That's how it picks up that you're in a meditative state, is that you're just in this more calm wavelength, right? The high beta wave frequency is like this, right? And you can translate this directly to the UV rays of the sun, right? The cortisol is stimulated by the blue light. Blue light looks like this, okay? Red light is nice and smooth. It's nice and slow, So it's like, it's so beautiful. All of this is just waves and frequencies. And trust me, this is really the coolest thing about you. But, if you're trying to get your cells back into a place of safety, these are all your little babies, trillions of babies in your body, waiting for you to come home. Your immune system is waiting for you to come home, and you can come home at any time. In the book, in the Course in Miracles that I always talk about, it talks about the holy instant. And it doesn't matter if you take the word holy and make it religious. Like, you don't have to make it religious. Holy, you could spell it WHOLY. Holy, to be whole, to be sound and calm within the body, within each individual cell. It just takes a moment for you to get into that calmer state, calmer place. So what I do in my meditative state, like I was saying, is I let the breath come in, and I'm trying to breathe as slowly as possible. So I continue to just expand my lungs and let that breath come in. And when I absolutely cannot hold it anymore, I practice slowly letting it come out and let it all the way come out. And again, you can just you can mimic like you're sleeping while you're awake. So the coolest thing to do is especially if you're rushed on time, is just set your phone timer for 2 minutes and just practice doing this slow breathing. I find it easier, and you're setting your biochemistry up. So if you try and practice that first thing in the morning and or right before you're going to bed at night, we can actually help our body. We're slowing down that breathing rate. We can actually help our body relax and get into a state where we're getting more of that delta wave. We can help our body rest more deeply at night. And then of course this is all leading into insulin sensitivity the next day, and our ability to keep on lean muscle mass and whatnot. Anyway, I've got to go now. This has been so fun. That's one of the coolest things about it. I'll probably make more videos about this in the future. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit scattered and I don't know how to say things, but we're just doing the best that we can. So if this video is helpful for you, you can share and subscribe, but as always, I wish you the best of luck.